So I'm going to do a little theoretical discussion here. I'm going to take a state. We'll say Idaho, because I like Idaho. It's a cool place. And we will dub it ChezKriptopia. Now, in ChezKriptopia, we'll strip all government, local, federal, state laws, regulations, rules, and taxation. And we will let the free market decide everything. Okay, now there's some pitfalls, because who's going to maintain the roads and the quote-unquote public areas? Who determines what the public areas are? Who says that you're not just going to go cut down every single tree in Idaho for profit and dig up all the dirt for mining and fish all the fish out and, just rape, pillage, and destroy the land? Wouldn't there just be like motorcycle gangs running around because there's no law and people killing each other and cannibalism or whatever runs amok? I would argue almost the exact opposite. Now, being that ChezKriptopia has been blessed with no taxes, no government, and probably a productive population, because I'm assuming that if you're looking to get a welfare check, you're probably not going to go to ChezKriptopia. If you're looking to be a politician and get a bunch of power for not doing much of anything except for screwing everything up, you're not going to want to go to ChezKriptopia. Who's going to go to ChezKriptopia? Well, entrepreneurs would go to ChezKriptopia. I bet they would have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the entire world. If you didn't want to work there, didn't want to work for the wages there, it's easy. You just move out. Being that there's no taxes on goods or services, there's a lot of extra money floating around. So to say, well, what about medical? I'm pretty sure they'd have some of the best hospitals in the entire world. People who are the best doctors, who want to get paid the most, are probably going to move there. And the people that run these businesses, very profitable businesses, are going to have the money to pay for the best medical service that they can possibly get. Now, as far as police, law enforcement, it's going to be a free state, so there's going to be a lot of people armed in ChezKriptopia. And you might have private police forces for certain people, certain areas, and I think that it would work out in the best interest of everyone. Why? Guess who the police are accountable to? That's right, the people that actually pay their paychecks. Not this thing where you walk down the street and a cop hassles you and you say, I pay your paycheck, and they give you a beat down and you have basically no recourse. So, what is so wrong with this idea? Why are there people standing in the way of something like this happening? And I think it's all fear-based. It's all based in fear. Okay? Look at all the crappy-ass legislation that's been passed recently. And say like the last 5-10 years. What's it all about? It's all about terrorism and financial collapse, and your life is going to be a living hell, and God, how are the poor people going to eat, and healthcare. We gotta do all this stuff, and it's part of living in this great society of America. Well, that's all fear-based. Since when is the last time you heard a law that says, you know what? This is going to make growth and prosperity #1 in America, and actually believed it? When's the last time you heard a law that's good for the people of this country, that doesn't restrict freedom, that doesn't add taxes, that doesn't add some sort of burden in some way, shape, or form? All that would be gone in ChezKriptopia. So I would advocate that 50 years, 100 years down the road, it's probably going to be one of the best places in the world to live, with the best services, with the most wealthy population, with the hardest workers, and the best standard of living in the entire world. Now I'm curious, I want to see any objections to this. Realistic objections. I don't want to see like, it'd just be an anarchical nightmare. I mean, give me a realistic scenario of how this would all go awry. Now, I could think of one. I'll throw this bone out there. Well, some super rich evil guys can move to ChezKriptopia and just end up at the top with all of the power somehow. Well, I would poke holes in that and say if there was some super evil rich guy trying to, just grab all the power of ChezKriptopia with no government backing him, how successful would he really be? Think about that. Think about the rich people that work for the banks. And I'm not dogging on rich people. I'm talking about the ones that are in the government's pockets, the ones that buy their politicians. How far would they get without bailouts? How far would they get without congressional non-investigations, Mr. Jamie Dimon? These are the types of things that I think would work themselves out. In attrition, and of course a transition would probably be pretty hard because there'd be a lot of people that like the state of Idaho. They would not like ChezKriptopia. But I'll tell you, if there was such a free state, I would throw my hat in the ring as being one of the first to immigrate into this free state.